Just like
It's
not into
okay.
that energy today.
Hello, friends. We are live. This is the Book Troop Live show for the month of April, where we read Nine Lives by Peter
Oh.
Swanson. Ooh.
Some of us did.
I don't have the cover
Some
on.
of us.
Sorry.
Some of us did.
She was so embarrassed. She just threw the dust jacket away.
Oh my god, amazing! I know, Marcy. Did you just finish it?
I just clicking the StreamYard link. I had just finished it.
Wow, that is amazing. That is incredible timing. Love
Did you
it.
sleep? Because like I messaged you last night asking how it was going, and it was like really
Like, what?
late your time.
Yeah. I was listening to it and I fell asleep like a little bit after that, but I only had like I think 60 pages left for today, and I was able to knock it out.
Awesome.
Amazing. Well, yeah, so thank you so much to everybody joining us. I see we already have so many people in the comments that I'm going to try to put on screen. Yeah, seeing Mique's right on Instagram. Mique's getting so much attention in the chat already.
Oh wait, did you see my Goodreads review? It will. If I read it out loud, this live show will literally get flagged. It is like so profane. It's
No,
so,
I haven't seen it yet.
I'll text it to you later.
Oh my god. Amazing. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I would love to know if you're here because you have read the book. Maybe you can put like a blue heart in the chat, and if you're here because you have not yet read it, then maybe you can put a black heart in the chat just so I can get a visual for who's all here for just for hangs and who's here for, spoilery discussion. Hello, Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
But yeah, so and while they're doing that, does anyone want to try to give like a spoiler-free synopsis for anybody who hasn't read the book?
All you need to say is that it's and then there were none. It's a spoiler to say that, but
I mean, valid.
I can describe Peter Swanson's writing process. He rolled out a newspaper, took a giant shit on it, and smeared the shit on the newspaper, and just cropped up whatever images, made some text, and gave it to the publisher. And the publisher was like, Peter Swanson is your name, so we're just going to publish anything you literally defecate out. And now we have this book with a pretty cover, which people... Anyway.
Wow, there you go. There you have it.
Tell us how you really feel, Mique.
Yeah.
I'm literally shaking. Like, I cannot wait to get into it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, it seems like we do have a lot of blue hearts in the chat, so it looks like we have a lot of people reading it. Oh my gosh, Kayla's here too. Do you have 3 chapters?
Kayla, you and I are like literally on the same wavelength, okay? Because fuck this book. Literally, fuck this book. Like,
I can't wait to talk about this. Like,
I cannot.
I've been waiting. I have been waiting to talk about this book. You don't even know.
Oh my
You've noticed I've been eerily quiet in all of our
Yeah, she has. I want to ask her, like, what'd you think? But I'm like, I'm going to let her.
Wow. Okay.
I was waiting. I was like, McKay's going to ask me. I'm going to be like, just wait.
Okay, amazing. Then let's just get to it. Let's just get to, your ratings, how you felt about it. We won't go into spoilers quite yet. But I mean, I have a feeling I know for the most part, but Marcy, I'll have you go first because I really don't know how you feel about it. So you can just give us your rating and then kind of like why without spoilers.
Okay, I think I am leaning in between like a 2 and a 3. I think more a 3, and I honestly don't know how I feel about it yet. I haven't read the Agatha Christie book. I've read 2 of her books, which one I enjoyed and one I didn't, but I haven't read what this book is based off of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see if the people that have read it hated it and the people that have not read it, love it, because I found that on Instagram stories, some people were telling me, oh, I loved it, but I never read Agatha Christie or this specific book, or I hated it because it ruined, or I just it didn't work with the original book, if that makes sense. So
yeah, wow, that's totally awesome. Katie,
I gave it 5 stars. I'm just kidding. I fucking hated it. I couldn't keep the lie in, but I was like, I need to see McKay's face.
You had me going there for a second. I was like, okay.
I was about to literally just like leave the studio because I knew she was gonna school me. I was like, 3, 2, 1. I hated it. Yes.
No, I was talking to Grace like on the phone, like ranting. I just passed away. Kayla, shut up. I was like ranting, and she was like, I dare you to say you gave it 5 stars. And I was like, I can't do it. And she was like, just don't talk to any of them. until you go live. And she was like, Gabby's gonna believe you, and McKay is gonna cancel you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I gave it, as far as I can think right now, it's the worst book that I have read this year. It was like a glaring 1 star. Like, I have a lot of things to say. A lot.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love to hear it. I am living for this slander. Oh my goodness. And also,
I've never read a Swanson book before either, so I just wanted to put that there. And I don't know that I would want to, but maybe with some recs, I'll do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Katie, I was not going to cancel you. I was going to cancel myself.
Literally.
Okay, am I going to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I literally feel like I should go. Okay,
yeah.
So I have, Marcy, I have read Peter Swanson's book before, and I have loved his books in the past. Kind Worth Killing is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. Every Value Break was a book that a lot of people hated, but it was very interesting in a daring and perverse way that I loved. It was like a very sleazy, sexual Brian De Palma trashy thriller, and I just really dug it. Like I gave the former 5 stars, the latter 4.5 stars, and meanwhile, I went into this book expecting something like that, and as a matter of fact, the first chapter is a much older man and a younger woman, right? Like there's like a sugar daddy situation happening. So I was like, okay, Peter, yeah, I know what's up. I'm digging this. And then it literally just goes to fucking shit after like 2 pages. This book is so boring. It is aggressively mediocre. The dialogue is so banal. And the Agatha Christie references were just so on the nose. The Agatha Christie references were just so on the nose. And whenever they came out, it literally triggered my fight or flight response because it made me so livid. And just for everybody in the chat, just in the interest of transparency, I am not an Agatha Christie fan. Like, fuck Death on the Nile, fuck Murder on the Orient Express, and other things I've likely read. Just like, she's not my thing. And the reason she's not my thing is because her books are very cold, very clinical. They have such a huge cast. I never care about her characters. I just do not. Character is everything for me. And if you're just going to give me plot with characters I don't care about, you get this book, which is aggressively plot heavy. And it's about people getting hunted down one by one. And I didn't give a single fucking butt-ass shit about any of these fucking people. And I just despised it with my entire being. And I just cannot wait to just literally.
Wait, Mickey, real quick. I'm not going to go into it, but real quick. Did you get to the part where you find out what's going on?
I don't know.
Okay, sure. Because I
got 65% in, and I just did not care about a single thing that happened. I was taking notes for the first 2 people, and then by the 3rd person, I was just like, fuck it. Okay, I was just like, I'm out, I'm tapping out. And then I just literally, I don't know, I just couldn't. Fuck this book. Like, literally just fuck this book. That's it. That's my review. I'm done. 0 out of 0. Worst book I've ever read. I want to send an apology letter to Riley Sager and Catherine Ryan Howard for saying their books were garbage. This literally made me so mad. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Picked a real winner for this chat.
But I think you did pick the best book for this group, especially since McKay is here, because it's just a perfect book. For him to rant on.
Any book that's like the worst book I've ever picked for the book troop, I want McKay to be here.
No, it was funny. It was funny. Grace was like, okay, so you're gonna have a Capricorn, a Virgo, Taurus, and
another Virgo,
all in one chat that all hate something. This is gonna be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up giving it 2 stars. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about what I actually want to rate it, but there were moments in this book where I was into it at times, and then there were moments where I just really wasn't. But then I was probably going to give it 3 stars for most of the book until that ending. I really wasn't a fan of the end reveals of this book. I just thought it was so lame, and just like you said, it's an Agatha Christie wannabe writing. It was just okay, just read Agatha Christie then. You don't need to read this, so.
Or don't read Agatha Christie because she's
Yeah, I mean, I have read And Then There Were None. That's the only one that I've read by Agatha Christie so far, and I actually did really like that one, but it took me a few times to get into it because, Katie, like you were saying, the writing is a challenge at first to get into because it's very, old school writing and stuff, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm just, I'm upset that I didn't like this one as much. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Peter Swanson now it's just cursed because last year for the book troop we had Every Value Break and then didn't like that one either. And I'm like, it sucks because I usually do really like his books. I mean, like The Kind Worth Killing is one of my favorite thrillers.
Well, have you read it again recently?
I haven't reread it. No, I've been wanting to.
I reread it like a couple months ago, and originally I'd given it 5 stars, and then when I recently read it, I bumped it down to 4 stars only because like I do think it's a good book. Like I just stand by that; it's a very good book.
Yeah.
But he always does something that I'm like unsettled by, and in that one, those weird like porn poems were completely unnecessary and just disgusting. Like I was like, "What are you, Peter?"
Porn poems? I'm like, I don't even remember, to be honest.
Give me your mom's phone number.
Like what? Okay, interesting. So before we do jump into spoilers, I did have like a few non-spoilery questions. I already have a feeling I know some of your answers, Mique, but for the sake of discussion, I just wanted to ask, were there any points of views that were like your favorite point of view to read from out of the 9, or were there any standouts that you enjoyed reading from, even for like a tad second?
No, next.
No, next.
I think mine was just the FBI agent. I think her name Jessica. No, maybe. Yeah, I think hers was my favorite, but there was at the end of it, there was really nothing of substance to her, but she was my favorite.
Okay. Katie, anybody? No.
I'm trying to think. I was like, I ended up not liking it, but I was like, Allison, the forced gold digger. I thought something was going to go on with that, so I was kind of intrigued, but of course, no.
Yeah. I know it's weird because I think my favorite point of view was Jay, which was the guy that was like tracking women and like trying to kill women. And I only thought he was like, I thought he was the most interesting because I was like, what's going on? Like I was reading his chapters. I was like, he was the only one that I was like slightly invested in like what was happening.
I hated him. There's one character I hated the most. Wait, no, let's go the people we like, and then we'll talk about the people we hate. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, is there any point of view that was like the worst to read, like out of all 9, like the most excruciating, like hated them?
The worst character, we didn't get a point of view of, but the worst character, I think her name was Nancy.
Oh.
The wife.
Oh.
What was her problem? Like, I hated her. I was literally like, at some point, she's gonna die, right? Like, this is just so annoying. And then I did think Jay, like, his creepy thing, I was like, okay, we're just trying too hard. We're doing too much. We're doing too much. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know who I think they were all my least favorite, honestly. But yeah, like I said, I think Jay was interesting because I'm like, there could have been so much done with his character to at least kill somebody, to get that out of his. I don't know if he ends up doing it or not. I can't remember, but I think they're all like my least favorite.
Yeah.
I love that this person that says, honestly, the Jay coach that lied was the most interesting person.
Oh my God, straight up.
That was funny.
I know. I usually agree that the character that's like the most unhinged tends to be like my favorite point of view out of all of them, just because I find them the most fascinating. But like, I still think he could have been written better, though. I still feel like it was a missed opportunity.
Shania's like, yo, who is Nancy? I'm asking the same thing because I don't.
Okay, so do you remember the guy, not the teacher? Who was it? I don't remember. Frank, maybe? No, I don't know. It was the husband. That was all he was known as. And then the wife was always thinking that he was cheating on her.
Yeah.
Anything, literally anything. He would just like walk outside and come back. And she's like, where were you?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you with her for a start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you still with her? Why you ever get with her?
Yes.
Why you not kill her in her sleep? Like, I don't understand. She was disgusting. And it never got, like, if he had told me that she had cheated on him before, or he had cheated on her before, I kind of would have understood, but no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else I want to touch on before jumping into spoilers, just because there's so much to talk about with spoilers. Unless you guys had anything you could think of before we jump into spoilers.
I do find it kind of fucked up that he ends up kissing the friend of like the friend couple that night outside.
I kind of was like, I mean, Good for
Because
you.
I'm like, she was married and they're all friends. And I'm like, damn, couldn't he have picked like somebody else to make out with, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
This
feel
book
that.
had literally all the pizzazz and personality of my electricity bill. Honestly. Straight up.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I find it crazy how dull the writing felt most of the time. It was, like you said, it was very clinical. It just felt like, and it was so like dense with like the paragraphs of just like info dumping about these people's lives, especially like at the beginning. It was like the introduction to each one of the characters was just like info dumps about their lives. And it's like, okay, who really cares? Like most of these characters are gonna get killed off, you know, like we don't need to spend too much
I
time on
completely agree. The writing like drove me up the wall. It was so like, this is how the book was written. This is Bob. Bob ate eggs for breakfast. Bob's mom likes dogs. Bob's
Yeah.
girlfriend is named Patty. Bob took a stroll this morning and he went down by the pier. Bob didn't know that there was a gun pointed at his head and the gun pulled the trigger. Chapter 2,
Yeah.
list of all the people.
Okay,
And
no,
I was
this
listening to
really annoyed me. Why did we get the same list at the beginning of every chapter? And I thought that there was going to be names scratched off, and I was like,
Yeah.
you're just wasting ink. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not mixed media.
And on the audiobook, the person says all the names. Every
Oh,
single
yes.
name before
Yes.
that fucking chapter.
Yeah.
Yes, Ashley. Yes to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, I have like a huge question, and I know everybody in the chat's going to agree with me. Where was all the sex? Where was all the sex? Okay. You know why? Because like if I was on a list of people who were going to die, like I would be fucking getting it on. Like if I knew someone was hunting me down, I would be like, okay, I'm going to get fucking killed. I need one more shebang.
You.
You know, like anybody who was willing, here's a whole oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
But seriously though, like these people should have been way hornier in this book, and that would have helped him. Like Peter Swanson wrote this book. Peter Swanson, who wrote Every Vow You Break, one of the horniest thrillers I have ever fucking read, wrote this
Now
book.
I need to read that.
And not a single pipe was cleaned. That is makes no sense at all.
Oh my God.
Zero. Nada. Fucking zilch. Oh, my water just spilled. Oh my gosh.
I know. I was curious. Did anybody else read the audiobook, or did you guys just read it physically?
The audiobook.
I
Okay, cool.
tried to, I started it physically,
Yeah.
and then I was on a car ride, so I was
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook too. Yeah, the audiobook was just okay. Did anybody notice too? This is such a random, like, small thing that doesn't even matter. But did anybody notice how there were some moments that were different in the audiobook than in like the print book? And I was getting so confused. Like there was a moment where they were like, I think in the print book it said the characters had gone and seen the movie Boyhood or something, and then on the audiobook it said they went and saw La La Land, and then like they were describing two different movies, like things that were happening, and the text was like totally different, and I was like, what is going on?
I have a theory. I've got
Yeah,
a
I
theory.
want to know because like why?
My theory is that the audiobook narrative was so fucking bored with the book. He was like, I don't want to. He was so fucking bored reading the book. He was like, I don't want to talk about Boyhood. I want to talk about a movie I like. So he was like, in La La Land, he fell asleep and started narrating his like own thing in that part.
He just
That's
went
what
rogue.
happened. Yeah.
I didn't realize that because I wasn't reading it like while listening to it. I was like doing things, but I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. That
I know
sucks.
some parts I was like, wait, because I was like following along with the book, and then he would just like go off and like go completely rogue, and I was like, what is happening right now? Like what? But I was
Wow.
assuming, like my theory is that the ARC copy probably had different stuff, and maybe he was reading the ARC copy, like they recorded the audiobook in that stage, and then by the time the final book came out, it was different. Like,
that would be
No,
weird.
my theory is better. My theory is better.
yeah, I mean it's
La
better.
La Land.
Thank you.
Yeah, like so random. But I was just like, what? And so yeah, I thought that was strange, but it happened a few times. It was like there was one chapter that was really long in the physical book, and in the audiobook it was cut really short. It was only like half a page or something. I was like, what? Like it was just so
Wow.
weird.
Because he fell asleep and his nose hit the pause button in the garage band. That's what happened.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
There's
Well-
so many things to talk about. Like
I know.
I'm
just
ready.
Like, okay. I'm just like, let's just jump into spoilers because we might as well, you know. So
I cannot wait to find out what happens in this book.
I would love to tell you.
yeah,
Let's do it. Let's do
Love.
it.
yeah, okay.
Love
yeah.
to tell you. There we go. That'll
So yeah,
work.
if you're here and you don't want to be spoiled,
Bring
we
it
will be
on.
taking spoilers now. So God, I don't even know what the first thing we should drop into spoilers. Okay, well, I guess the first spoilery thing I do want to ask is how did we feel about this like random ass romance that was happening between like Ethan and Caroline or whatever?
Couldn't care less.
Like
Exactly.
it felt like so unnecessary. I was just like, of course. Like, of
Well,
course.
I guess that falls under what McKay was saying. Like, fuck it, we're all gonna die. Let's all, you know. And they got together, but it was anticlimactic. Like,
no, but they didn't think that they were gonna die. They were just like,
I know.
LOL, that's happening. I'm like, what do you?
Yeah, I guess.
And she's like she's like an English professor, and I was like, have you not ever read a thriller in your life? Like,
I know.
What?
Well, and the way that they were killed too, I thought it was so lame. Like, what was it, like the wine cork?
The wine,
it was like,
yeah. It was injected. Mm-hmm.
It's like you're trying to make it romantic.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, romantic? Because screwing, Katie, is that with the wine cork? Is that what the symbolism
No, because
was?
they like died in each other's arms.
Convulsing.
Screwing with the wine cork.
Like, what?
Ooh, interesting. Okay, because I know some people did like the romance. I was seeing in the chat when I was asking on Discord, or when people were posting on Discord, some people did like the romance. So that's why I was curious. Interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree that the kills were so lame. It's like someone gets drowned, someone gets shot in the head. It's like, girl, with the books I read, I'm gonna need more than, you know, the 1 second kill. Okay, like, come on, honey.
Well, the thing about this book, where like in the very first couple chapters, which like I didn't tab anything obviously, but in the first couple chapters where I was like, this book is not going to be good. Like, I'm like, I don't know how much I'm going to hate it, but this will not be good. Is because he shoots himself in the foot so obviously in the first couple chapters. When we meet Jack, the first time we meet Jack, he talks about how his grandmother loved Agatha Christie and got him into Agatha Christie. Yeah. And he explains the entire plot and ending of And Then There Were None. And he is obviously Wargrave. He's obviously Wargrave. He's the age to be Wargrave. He has the mentality of Wargrave. And if you read And Then There Were None, you would have known what was going to happen. But you don't need to read it because he spoils it and tells you how it ends. And then that's exactly how the book ends. He does the exact same shit.
I thought the same thing. And like, too, I thought it was really obvious that Jack was the last point of view that we got introduced to, because I was taking note of that, because I was like, of course they're going to introduce like the victims first and then it'll be the killer. Like, that's like the most obvious way to set it up, at least in my opinion. So I was like, I had a gut feeling it would be Jack from the beginning.
Well, something that you talked about in your blog that I was like, we have got to fucking talk about this, and I want to see if anybody like has a different opinion than me and thinks that like it wasn't that bad. But in that chapter where they're talking about And Then There Were None, there was no reason at all why he needed to say the N-word twice.
I know.
And not only than that, but justify himself by saying it, because he's like, oh, the original she's like, oh, the original title, I can't give you that book. Oh, and the 10 Little Indians. She was like, no, 10 Little like N-word. And he's like, well, why so bad about that? And she's like, oh, well, your father might not like it or something. And I was like, oh, so not only are you saying it, but you're acting like it's totally fine.
I know. No, and I thought she said your dad likes using that word or something, but it made her uncomfortable. So she said it again, and I was like, what? And it was like read in the audiobook twice too. I was like, oh my god. Like, it was just
but wasn't it that the dad does use that word?
Yeah, that's what I thought she was saying. Like, she was like, oh, he likes using that word, but I don't approve of it or something like that. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, but the son actually, so the kid says, oh, well, my dad uses it all the time, so it's no big deal. I was like, oh, okay, that's fantastic.
What was the point? Why?
Yeah, there was no point.
I think he was just trying to bring that up to be like edgy or like to have people talking, but there was no point.
But
I agree.
Even doing that, like an author being like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be edgy," is like cancel you.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, how can you exist in the year 2022 and type that word like with your own hands in life? Like, one time is like, I mean, okay, maybe he was trying to convey that this person's an asshole, but then 2 times is like spamming it already. Yeah. Like, that's like ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I did see that Ashley warned us about it. So I knew it was coming after I saw her story, but I was still like, okay, seriously? Like, this is so unnecessary.
And if you're going to change to La La Land and Boyhood, I feel like the narrator could have gone off the rails with that one, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that one.
Yeah. So as far as like the ending goes, like, so how did we the events that occurred towards the end, or like the reason why this list was made?
Yeah, what happens? Why
Yeah,
is this list
let's
made?
just
Please tell
let's.
me.
Okay.
You guys just want to tell me, Kate?
Okay, let me tell you. So, he's the older guy, you know, like Jack's the older one, and then there's one other older guy, and all the rest of them are around the same age and are younger. Okay. So apparently Jack, when he was a wee boy, he had a sister, a younger sister. Okay, but he was a literal child. I want you to keep that in mind. He goes to like a bed and breakfast or something like that's like whatever vacation with his family, and there's a bunch of other kids the same age there. In what world? Like, in what world are like 9 children gonna all be hanging out in one resort?
Yeah.
Okay. So they all decide they're gonna create this like pirate society, but the younger sister is younger than them and she wants to get in. And Jack's like, no, gross. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna initiate her into the club. This is what you have to do. You have to go into this like bluff or whatever, in this like tide pool, and you have to stay there as the tide comes in. And if you can stay there the whole time, then we'll initiate you. And she's a child, so she does it. And she dies, obviously, because she drowns. And then all of them are like, oh my God, we're so scared. Don't tell anybody. So they don't tell anyone. Okay, that's it. Jack grows up and decides at like the ripe age of 70 that all of a sudden he's had enough with this. So he's going to go kill not them, but their children.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of things to say about that. 1, why? 2, you were children. Children. Yeah. They didn't kill your sister. 2, he was involved.
He was involved.
He's involved.
Yes.
That's the biggest issue. I'm like,
the whole time that he's like, and they were, you know, they did this to her, and I'm like, no, you were there. You could have been like, no, my sister's not going in there. Fuck that. But yep.
And never said anything. Never told his parents. Never did anything. And then there was even one of the boys who like didn't want to do it and like felt bad. And and literally Jack was like, well, I guess I could not kill him, but like I need to complete the circle. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, Gabby, I'm really curious, like, how did this get 2 stars from you? Like, I can understand, like, if you like the ending, it's like, okay, so I'll add something. But, like,
I know.
what other aspects contributed to your rating? I'm curious.
I mean, honestly, like, the more that I'm talking about it and thinking about it now, the more I want to lower my rating to 1 star.
Please,
but
join the club. Join the club.
But my thinking at the time was, like, there were moments in the book where I was interested in where it was going, and it kept me interested enough to want to get to the end. So I was like, okay, I mean, but at the same time, I didn't enjoy this one as much as Every Value Break, and I'm pretty sure I gave Every Value Break 2 stars. So I feel like this one would be justified to give it 1 star. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm lowering mine to 2 stars because like like I said, I had just finished it, so I haven't been really able to like, you know, sit with my thoughts. But yeah, it was pretty lackluster. So I think it's gonna be 2 for me.
Oh my gosh. Like I was hating it so much, 64% in. If I had pushed through and gotten to that ending, I would have been so like livid. Yeah. I would have like bought the book and set it on fire on my channel.
Yeah,
like,
you would have.
Right, yeah.
At 5 a.m, he was like, y'all, that's it. 65%. I'm done. Goodbye. Sorry.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't 5 a.m. It was like,
well, for me, it was 5 a.m.
Yeah, 5 p.m. my time. This afternoon on my walk, I was like walking, enjoying the birds, getting tortured in my ears, and I was just like, I can't, girl. No, I can't.
This is true. This comment is so true. Like, okay, this book is short. You could have added some grief, but you didn't.
Well, because especially if that was the whole point, was to like get back at those people for what they did. And then we never saw any of the like reaction of like the parents, you know, or even found out about them realizing that they were the reason that their kids were getting killed. Like that could have been something, but
maybe if they would have been younger too, because like at 30 something, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll still hurt for my child, but you know, they're older and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Why wait until they're all adults? Why not, you know, go after them when they're like 5 years old, like your sister was, you know?
Do you know what the motivation of this villain is like? It's like if I went into a store and I got caught for stealing a little candy, and rather than run away, I decided to blow the store up. Like, that's literally what the villain's plan sounds like. Like, this is the most elaborate, unnecessary solution to a problem that I have ever seen in a thriller. I cannot fathom. Like, I feel like I'm being punked. Like, Katie invented an ending that she just told me right now. Like, there's no way to...
Okay, see, that's what I think is so funny, is that not only, it's like he stole Okay, well, one, I don't think I've ever read a good And Then There Were None retelling, except I did really enjoy One by One by Ruth Ware, but it wasn't as closely to And Then There Were None. But this, it's like he carbon copied it, and then Rain came on the paper and it all kind of smeared because he did the exact same plot as And Then There Were None, but like did it terribly because And Then There Were None, which he spoils. So if you know, no spoiler, but And Then There Were None, it's not like Wargrave is like, oh, you slighted me. He was a justice, like he was a judge, and he picks people who have done evil things and gotten away with them. And it's like, I'm gonna get justice. Like this is my final act, is I'm gonna get justice on all these evil things these people have done. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So who's the main killer? Who's the main killer in the book?
Jack.
Wargrave.
Jack. No, in this book.
Oh, Jack.
Okay, Jack. Okay, all right.
But that's what made me so mad, was because with this book, I thought it was going to be something more interesting, like you said, like that everyone was going to have a really valid reason for why they should be killed. But it's like, it was just so dumb. It's like they were all kids doing something so like reckless and stupid, but they were kids. Like they were literally kids. And then, yeah, the fact that the fucking guy, Jack, was involved, like he didn't even want his sister to be in the freaking pirate society, whatever. And then he just tries to like push the blame onto the rest of the group. Like, what?
Yeah,
Gabby, I totally agree with you, because I remember the show Big Little Lies, and the whole draw of that show was the fact that everybody had a reason for wanting to kill someone, and everybody had a target on their back, and we didn't know who the killer was until the very end. Over here, it's like the reasoning behind these killings is so like ridiculous and so unjustified. Like there is no catharsis to be had, because how can we possibly cheer for these kills to happen when this guy who's enacting them is like not only targeting the people who are perpetrating, but was complicit in the act at the beginning? Like, did he kill himself at the end?
No, he does. He does kill himself.
We find out all this stuff. Yeah, we find out all of this through a note that he leaves in a Peter Pan book. In that, was it in the resort where the book was?
I thought it was in a library, but
I think it's the library of that resort or whatever, and he leaves it in one of in the Peter Pan book, and somebody, whoever, I guess they figure it out, and they're looking for an Agatha Christie book, but they don't find anything, and then they see the Peter Pan book. Who was it? The detective or somebody? He pulls it out, and that's where the note is.
It was because of the like pirate society, right? That was the connection to Peter Pan or something.
Yeah, it was because they were pirates in the book, and so they added society to like make it like a little bit more grown up.
Like that's way too much character energy. That he's like, they're gonna piece together all these little things that I did when I was 7 years old.
Yeah,
they're gonna look at the Peter Pan book, and then they're gonna read my novel. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
They hated it. And also, I totally agree with these like comments saying like, why did like the whole like, oh my God, but it's a happy ending that Jessica survived. Like, of course, the young, like hot cop is gonna live, and she's gonna find romance. Like the what? That felt very Riley Sager.
Yeah. That's so true.
Speaking of Riley Sager, he's got a new book out this year apparently, and oh boy, I am not hearing good things about that.
I don't know if I'm ever going to read. I'm definitely never reading Peter Swanson again. And I don't think I'm going to read Riley Sager again, because there has been 2 of his books that I've really liked, but every other one I've given 1 star.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
What?
And Survive the Night, he can't bounce back from that. He can't.
Oh, I hated Survive the Night.
Oh yeah, that book is like abysmal. Like that is no tap. It didn't even sound like him. Like I don't know who wrote that book. Yeah.
I loved all of his other books, but not
Gabby, your mom has the best conspiracy ever. I literally like, this is in my brain. If I ever read from him again, this is what I'm gonna have to tell myself. I don't remember. It was on your live show, I think, where she said that she thinks that Riley Sager has contractually that he has to come out with a book every year, and because of COVID, he like didn't. So he gave them a book that he wrote a long time ago. And that is why this one came out. And I was like, I mean, the book's terrible no matter what, but like, thank you. I needed to hear that.
And they didn't edit a single line. They just slapped his name on it and put a pretty graphic design cover. And we're like, people are going to eat this shit up. And it was shit. Okay. It was crap.
I know. I think that's a valid theory. I mean, it was very different from his other stuff too. Like it did feel like almost like a rough draft of something that never.
No,
should've-
it like literally did not sound like a Riley Sager book at all, because normally his books are like they have a point of view in the past, they have a point of view in the beginning, and then the storylines coalesce at the end, if that's the right word. I don't know how to speak English. But like with this book, it was like all in one night, and it's like, what? And then like the main caption is like, who will survive in the end? They both survived! They both survived in that book! What the fuck?
Mhm.
Katie, which one was the book of his that you liked?
Okay, and this I read a while ago, so I like wasn't on BookTube at the time, so I don't know if I reread it, but I gave Lock Every Door 5 stars. That was my first Riley Sager. And then I gave Home Before Dark 5 stars as well, which I really loved them. But
Okay.
Final Girls, I gave 2 stars. Hated the characters. They were fucking disgusting. The last time I lied, I literally fell asleep reading the book and then read the last half of it again and still can't tell you what happened.
Mm.
I was just very bored. Very bored. Mucho bucho.
I haven't read the one with the green cover. Which one's that one?
Home Before
Dark.
Yeah, I haven't read that. That's the only one I haven't read, but I've read all his other ones.
I loved Home Before Dark. I read
Home
that
Before
whole
Dark's
book
fun.
in one sitting.
Yeah.
It's so
Whoa.
spooky.
So good.
When what was it? Noelle said something where I was like, now I can never read one of his books the same way again. She said that formulaically, all of his books go the same way, where it's always from a female point of view, and there's a suspicious guy, and she has sex with them knowing she shouldn't, and they don't turn out to be the guy. And I was like, that does happen in every.
Yeah, but like formulaically, it does follow those beats. But like that's why I read them, because
I
like,
know. I was like,
I'm
I
gonna
like
be
the
getting
formula.
that,
I don't
like-
care.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be getting that, but like in a different package, which is why I was so which is why Survive the Night was such a jarring experience for me, because ideally when you shake up the formula or present something different, like that's like something good, that's something fresh. He went completely opposite. He went full crap. Like he went shit. You know, with that book, I was like, "What are you doing, Riley?" I literally had to check to see if I was reading the right book, because I was like, "What is this?"
I saw this one comment that was actually pretty interesting. They said, also, nobody ratted anyone out. All these kids are like the most gangster kids ever. Snitches get stitches crew. I know, like, don't you think that maybe the parents of these kids would have like seen this list and like maybe somebody would put it together? Like,
yeah, they did. And I think even one of the moms was like kind of like crazy or didn't like who was it?
She was wasn't she like senile or like had Alzheimer's or something and like never like didn't remember things or something?
I think that the trauma of the event like just made her like block it out or some shit like that. But nobody else, I don't know. It was kind of weird.
yeah.
Well, it was
The
also
police-
like they weren't gonna say like one, yes, like they didn't say anything, cool, because they were protecting each other. But also, you don't want to be like the one person that says something and then it's like
I don't know. I would have been kind of like freaked out and been like, I would have told my mom, like, listen, this is, I don't know. I guess it's just me being dumb, but I would have been shitting myself if that would have happened to me as a kid. I've been like, nope.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if you are all like, and yes, absolutely, I would do the same thing. But in this scenario, I was just assuming that if they're all in this resort and they are all kind of holding each other accountable and not saying anything, and they were there for months, and then once you don't say anything for months and then you go home, it's like the lie, it's like it gets harder and harder to tell the longer you don't tell it.
Right.
This was interesting too. There was some mention of him having a head injury and that didn't have the desire to get revenge before that. Was Swanson trying to say his brain injury changed his personality?
It was because he got a tumor, I think, and that's what sort of like switched him. And then remember his daughter dies at college, and I think that shifted him as well.
So that's when he decided, now I will go on a murderous rampage.
Fuck these months.
Was he like, oh, I want to do it eventually? And then when he got a brain tumor, he's like, time's ticking.
I know, like now.
But that's so similar to Survive the Night. Like someone finds out they have an illness and they're gonna do an unnecessary dumbass revenge that makes no sense. It's like
I don't know. I find something out like that and I'm gonna go, I don't know, get drunk, get high, have sex, travel. I don't know.
I mean, he was traveling technically. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to remember the painless thing, because wasn't it like that some of them, like he was going to do it painlessly because it wasn't their fault, it was their parents' fault?
Yeah.
But you're still killing them.
I know.
God.
Wow, what a great point. It's not their fault.
Like I drugged them before chopping their head off. It's not that bad.
Oh my god.
I didn't like killing all these people. I like when he said that one.
It's the thought that counts. And I was thinking badly while I was doing it. Ooh, not like other girls, not like other killers.
What was it that his wife left him, or like something? Because he didn't have a wife, or he was like always like, wasn't he always talking about her, like bringing her up, like thinking about her?
Okay, but is anyone shocked that a wife left a man like this? A man this stupid, you know?
Yeah.
That's the point.
I know. Were any of the parents still even alive? Like, I would assume someone they had to be, right? Because he was alive. So, like,
Well, yeah, because Jessica talked on the phone with her dad throughout like the whole book, and he never.
Yeah, the parents were alive because he says it at the end that when he looked for all of them and they were all still, surprisingly, they were all still alive and they all had kids. And I think that's when he made that. But I don't know if that was at the beginning when he was making the plan or at the end, but I think they were all alive.
Okay, wait. Sophie, thank you so much. The sugar daddy, Allison sugar daddy is Jack.
Oh my god, wait, the man at the very, very beginning who had a much younger gal was the killer.
Okay, I actually kind of fucking love that, but then I was like, it turned out stupid, but I actually love that because for some reason, she's the only one that he can't figure out how to get to, which I was like, what do you mean? You took one person out with like a fucking sniper, like this Allison girl that's a hostess at a restaurant. This is your big target. So he decides he's gonna make her fall in love with him. Why? Who knows? Because he's crazy. So makes her fall in love with him, and then it's like, well, he does love her, and he's like, I don't want to kill her, but gotta do it.
Wait,
and
can I
like,
but how do you have sex with somebody that you're gonna kill like that did that? I don't get that.
They have a whole relationship, and he pays for all the shit for her, and they go to like Paris or something. Like they go like fucking somewhere really nice, and he kills her in her sleep, or like I think does he strangle or he puts a pillow over her face?
No, he shoots her with a rifle.
Oh, fuck.
Remember that he's like, I should have drugged her. What about if she wakes up? I don't want her to hurt, but he shoots her in Bermuda.
Oh God, Bermuda.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can I just talk about like how appreciative I am of how everybody is like appreciating my DNF and like reminding y'all to like remind me of certain scenes? They're like, oh, tell McKay about this, tell McKay about this, just to see me like freak out and get pissed all over again.
Amazing.
Wait, Art was alive? I don't even remember who Art was.
Art?
Was Art the older guy?
I know.
Wait, wasn't Art and Frank?
He's an oncology nurse grieving the loss of his husband. Oh, that's the one that the dog and the husband dies and he has like a bad leg. Are we talking about his dad or him?
Whatever you're talking about right now, I have no.
You don't know?
None.
Yeah, he was married and they go on a trip one day and the husband and the dog die in an accident and he's the only one that survives, but he has like a leg condition. And yeah. That's all.
If it didn't piss me off, I probably don't remember it.
Probably.
I was gonna say,
but maybe we're talking about his dad because they both had the same name, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Art was Arthur's dad. Oh.
Art was I know that one of them had like a dad who was like had like
homophobic.
Had like Alzheimer's and was like. He didn't want to talk about the thing he did when he was a kid. Like, is this guy? It's this guy. Okay.
No, it's not this guy. Art Cruz is the one, because I just read in the comments and it reminded me. Art Cruz is the one that he was the father for Arthur Cruz, and he was homophobic and just disowned the kid because he ended up telling him that he was gay, and so he was like probably the worst of the worst. But yes, he was still alive.
Why you save that guy?
I know.
Why did you save him?
What guy?
Art. Why would you save him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, way too many characters.
Yep, exactly. We're here like, was it not?
Like
Matthew, you can go back to earlier after this live is over. Just go back to a little earlier when we get into spoilers and we spoil the whole ending.
Spoiler alert, Matthew, this book's a fucking piece of shit. Okay, you don't need to read it. I just saved you 7 hours on the audiobook. Go read something else. Preferably Karen Slaughter or Survivor by J.F. Gonzalez. Okay, that's how you do that. Okay.
Oh my god.
I can't with how fucking dramatic this guy is. Like this whole giant note that he leaves. One, I'm like, I hate when a villain explains what they're gonna do. But the whole like, oh my god, my time is up. I think I can't. My time is up, I think, and I won't bore you with any more self-reflection. Really?
Like
Because
you won't bore us?
started- Oh God.
Bore you with
Empty
more
promises.
self-reflection.
There's a long bit there. I'll hide this letter in an appropriate place, then take my remaining whiskey out to the jetty. I'll be joining Faye soon. I don't mean in heaven, because I don't believe that such a place exists.
Okay.
I mean that other place. Hell? That's what you're saying? You think your daughter ended up in hell?
Why didn't you narrate the audiobook, honestly?
May your gods have mercy on all your souls. And also, why does he have the longest name in all of history? Do you see
I know.
online? That's just his name.
I know, because it was his fake name, right? It was like the name he changed to like hide who he really was.
Okay, you know
And
what?
chose
The
Jack?
appropriate place to put that note is up his ass, where his head is. That's where he should put the note. Okay, I'm gonna say that.
Well, yeah, this is because remember, he changes his name
Mm-hmm.
after I think the sister dies. He changes his name. So here he adds like his real name and his fake name. I don't get it.
So was he planning this from like the beginning? Like,
I know.
Those
Like,
are all
straight up.
fantastic questions.
Yeah, straight up. If I was the publisher and I saw the word 9 on the title in reference to characters, I would have just thrown the book aside. I would have been like, if this was a dress, like it wasn't shrunken in the dry cleaners. Nuh-uh. This dress was ruined when you bought it. Mm-hmm. It was bad from the beginning. 9 people, fuck off. Literally, Peter, fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Somebody said we need to talk about Eric. I don't remember. Wait, I don't
Who's
remember. Which
Eric?
one was Eric?
There was no
the
Eric.
crazy guy?
Whoever said that in the chat's like spreading disinformation. There was no Eric in the book. There was no Eric in the book.
I know, was there?
No, there
Maybe they're
wasn't.
talking about Ethan. Ethan was the psycho that wanted to kill the girls.
No, Ethan was the one in the romance with Caroline, I thought. And
Oh
then Jay,
no! Yeah, okay, so which one
Jay,
was Jay?
Jay was the one
no,
that
no,
was
Jay
psycho.
was the one who there was 2 of them, but was he Jay? No, Jay was the crazy guy. Yeah.
Eric is songwriter?
No, Ethan is the songwriter. I think they're just
Okay.
confusing Ethan with Eric.
No,
But
there
this-
wasn't an Eric. Trust me, Sierra. There was no Eric in this book. Trust. Okay.
Wasn't
I-
Eric the name of the husband that was, or the one that was with his
Oh yes, the husband of the neighbor.
Yeah.
That he didn't have anything to do with it.
He was the only one he killed that wasn't on the list at the
Yeah,
end.
that the
remember?
one that would treat the wife bad. He went to
Yeah.
dinner at the house.
Yeah.
Katie's face is priceless.
Yeah, he was.
I
the one
just
that-
remembered what you're talking about, and I'm like, that was in this book. That
Yeah,
was
I know. I'm like,
He
that
was
was this one.
so self-aggrandizing. He just like goes over and is like, "You made me do this. God
Yes.
is telling me that you are a bad person, and
Yeah.
you're going to the other place. I'll meet you soon." Like,
Yeah,
I am dead right
Right.
now. I can't.
I forgot about this. Oh my god.
I blocked it out. to be
You
honest.
guys, and I just finished this book and I forgot about Eric. Like,
You know, like literally, this book
Done.
is this book is so unmemorable. My effort to gaslight the entire chat almost worked until Katie remembered that's who Eric was.
yeah,
You're like,
I
he
just-
doesn't exist.
that's
like-
the only one that I'm happy died. Like,
Yeah, me
done.
too. I was like,
And you couldn't kill
And-
Nancy? Why are you saving like the homophobic dad, the actual
know.
psychotic bitch wife?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't get it.
that's
I
so
don't know.
funny. Oh,
But
we were
also,
like,
like the Eric thing, it's the reason that you can forget so much about this book is because there's so much shit going on in this book that it's hard to remember hating this many things. In
Yeah.
Survive the Night, it's like I hated everything, but it was all the same note. The whole book was the same note. So I'm just like, this book sucks. And then the ending was truly terrible. And in this book, I'm like, wow, another thing? God, wow,
yeah,
who are you? I hate you too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, at least Survive the Night wasn't boring. I wasn't bored. I was just mad.
I
Yes.
agree.
I agree.
Like,
It
Survive
kept
the
you
Night is
going.
entertaining at least.
Like at least
Yeah.
Survive the Night had like moments that were like you could laugh at how stupid it was. Over
Like the
over here, it
two-
was just like reading this book was like being forced to read the giant document that people normally skip before clicking agree and signing into a social media account. That's what reading this book is like.
Mhm.
literally, my friend, we read it on a car trip. And at the end, she was crying because she was so upset that I made her read the entire book. I'm dead ass. I have it on
Who
film.
was driving?
Me. Oh, wait. Yeah, it was me.
I feel like she would have been like, get out of the car. We are done if she's driving.
LOL, it was Grace.
Oh my god.
I felt so bad. She was like, "You don't have to finish it." I was like, "I have to. I have to watch. We have to hate watch this live show."
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if there's anything left to say.
There is too many things.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Oh wait, somebody in the chat said Eric's kill was the best. So how was he killed? I want to know. What's up?
He was just shot in the chest. He was
Okay,
talking
whoever-
to him.
But
it
that
was
was the best. And that was the best kill in this
I
book.
think it
Come
was
on.
the best kill
It was the
because
best.
you're rooting for him to
Yeah.
get because he treated his wife
Oh.
like shit. So you're like, yeah, just get rid of him.
Yeah, but
I think it was
when he
Jessica's
shot,
death was
like-
pretty crazy. Her death was pretty crazy because it was like you knew it was gonna happen, but then you're like, wait, what? Shit. Especially
Yeah, and
like her
it happened
fucking brain explodes.
It happened so fast because it was the two people, and doesn't he kill them both that were
Mhm.
standing there, or somebody random?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it was very confusing, that part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there
agree.
was
He
another
the
person
best
that wasn't
kill,
on the
he was
list.
Awful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like if he was awful, the kill should have been like more exaggerated. Like I don't know, like was poker to the eye or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
but McKay, you're forgetting our dear friend Jack didn't want to kill these people.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't want
had
to cause
to.
any pain. I think you forgot to read his long apology letter.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And my toes are giving the middle finger too.
What is just this light
Up
bulb?
yours, Peter. That's my review of this book.
McKay, I need you to explain this singular light bulb you have behind you.
Oh no, this is my backlight, but like it was making me a bit darker, so I turned it off.
My backlight.
Yeah, it's my backlight.
He's professional,
it.
you know?
I love it.
A bitch who lights their back. I don't know how to finish that sentence, but like I light my back.
Oh man.
Have y'all read any good and then there were none retellings, or like liked any good ones?
all
haven't
of
read
you,
any.
all of you light up my life.
Look at
Wow.
you.
That was so sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I didn't like One by One by Ruth Ware either. I gave that 1 star.
I think I gave that 4 stars, and I was very surprised at how much I liked it. But I think it was because I went in thinking it was going to be 1 star, and then was like, "This is good."
Yeah.
I don't remember what I gave One by One. Oh, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was just all right.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh my
even
God.
realize that was a Agatha Christie retelling, though. So
Yeah. Is there anything else you would compare this to, like besides like Agatha Christie? Like even like movies or TV shows or other books?
I got something. Yes. That's what I compare it to.
I mean, it does remind me of Every Value Break, unfortunately, and it was also like a crazy man.
Yeah.
But in Every Value Break, it was like super misogynistic. And in this one, there was misogyny, but then it was like, oh, but wait, we have a hot cop, and it's a woman. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
cool. I was like, I don't know, it's very formulaic. So like, if anything where people are getting picked off one by one and then there were none retelling, but it's not.
Yeah.
This is the only book that I've read where I'm like, this is actually a retelling, not an inspiration. It's a retelling, but a bad one.
Yeah. I know, it
Just
kind of
my water.
reminded me. Oh, you're good. It kind of reminded me a little bit of 8 Perfect Murders, actually, just in the way, like.
I haven't
like,
read that one either.
Don't.
No. Yeah, well, just in the way it's like, it feels like the same kind of like clinical writing where I just felt really bored, and it does the same thing where it just like spoils Agatha Christie books or like other mystery books, and it has like, I don't know, it just gave me similar vibes, and like I wasn't a huge fan of 8 Perfect Murders either. It's probably like
No.
my least favorite Peter Swanson other than this one.
How dare he? Peter Swanson, literally, how dare he do this again? He didn't learn from 8 Perfect Murders. In 8 Perfect Murders, Marcy, don't read it because he literally spoils
Yeah.
every good. He spoils Big Little
He spoils
Lies. He
8
spoils
books.
There Were None. He spoils Murder on the Orient Express. He
Secret
spoils
History.
Gone Girl, The Secret History. Literally every good mystery, he spoils the ending of all of them. Why?
Yeah.
Why does he think that he is? If people read those books, that they would even think to pick up that book?
Wow,
I mean,
that's
in
crazy.
fairness, The Secret History spoils itself on the first page. So
No, he spoils who did it.
yes, they spoil that on the first page of that book.
They
No,
do?
but
I don't
I'm pretty sure
remember.
he spoils the motive or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he spoils something you're not supposed to know.
Oh, okay.
And also, how dare he even say the secret history? Get it out of your
Yeah.
mouth, Peter Swanson.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the whole 8 perfect murders, the whole point of the book is that he spoils 8 other perfect murders that he's trying to like, or that the character's trying to like redo or something like that. So he spoils 8 other thriller books that are like, because he has to explain what happened in those books so that he's copycat or whatever.
Oh.
It's like, ugh.
But
So
did
I
he have
guess
to, though?
what I'm getting out of this is only read The Kind Worth Killing. I do own that one, and that's it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every Value Break. I like that book. I mean,
Oh, I have
it's
that one
good.
too. I have that one too.
I thought it was good. I mean, like, I like the sleaziness. I like the
I thought it was
perverted.
great until the end. I was like, no.
I'm gonna
Oh,
give it a
like-
try. I'm
I
gonna give it a
like the
try.
ending. When they all started laughing at the end, I got goosebumps, girl.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I love it. I love a good
Every book-
goosebumps.
No,
The
I did. I
motivation-
genuinely like that book, which is why I was so sad about this one.
Gavin spitting facts.
Mhm.
It
Facts.
sounds about
Wait, I have a thing to ask. Like, didn't John Mars spoil, his own books in that book,
Yeah.
The Minders? Like,
Yeah.
what
And it
is
was
it
1
with-
star.
Can somebody in the chat or like can people like give their opinions? Like, what is it with authors who spoil the works of other people? Like, that's like taking money away from them. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't get the rationale there.
Well,
Yeah, it's one thing to
not
spoil your
only-
own books.
Not only like, okay, spoiling other people's books is disgusting. Like, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
But I think that it was very egotistical for John Mars to spoil his own books because he's just like, well, of course everybody's already read the other 2. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing too, is that it wasn't like written as a sequel, even though it kind of is, in a way.
but it's terrible.
I've only read one John Mars, which is the one where the mom is in the
What lies
attic.
between us?
What lies between
That
us.
one.
I
That's
hate
the only
that
one I've
book
read.
so much. 1 star.
I've
Oh,
never
really?
hated a character
Yeah,
as
it's
much
so
as
bad.
I liked that book. I really liked that book, but I've never hated a character as much as I hated the daughter in that book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
That's the only
Yeah.
one I have read, and I really haven't been inclined to pick up anything else after that one. So I guess it didn't really wow me.
Oh, I like The Passengers. I mean,
Mhm.
I keep hearing about that one.
Well,
Yeah.
this thing between us, or what lies between us, is very different. He writes like 2 very different things. Like there's like the mystery thriller, and then there's like this in the futuristic kind of sci-fi multi POV thing. And those listen to on audiobook. Like the physical books are really good, but the audiobooks are fantastic.
Oh,
Full
okay.
cast narration, sound effects, super good. 5 stars.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think The One and The Passengers are his best books that are like that. They're so cool.
I want to read the one. I haven't read that one, obviously.
Yeah, that one's really good.
There was somebody that said that they couldn't even sell 9 Lives of Daniel books because nobody would buy it.
Oh my god.
I saw that
Hilarious.
one.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, hopefully this book just does the book community by large a favor and just tells us all to not patronize every single thriller someone shits out once a year. I mean, popular stuff. It has just not been it lately. Go for the indie stuff.
Sadly.
What are y'all reading right now?
I'm reading.
Mique, you better say Empire of the Vampire. If you don't say
No.
Empire,
I am halfway through. I'm halfway through Empire of the Vampire because I'm reading it with you, Marcy. But I also started this smut book that I was given a free copy of called something where the devil says goodnight. It's like this smutty priest book. And I was like, okay. Like the person who gave me that book, who gifted me the arc of that book, the e-arc of that book, like literally messaged me saying, I see your page, I see you like fucked up shit. Do you want fucked up shit but gay porn? And I was like, yes. Like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm reading Empire of the Vampire right now.
What part are you in? I'm like 10 hours left on the audiobook. It's so fucking good. I love that book.
I'm
so
on
much.
page 510, 511. So I have like
510?
this 510. Yeah, I have like
Oh,
this
I'm gonna
much
get.
left.
I feel like I'm like around that part. Are you loving it? Like it's so fucking good, right?
I am obsessed.
It's so good. It's
Obsessed.
so good. And I gave 2 Jake Kristoff books 1-star DNFs. So like this book was like so shocking to me. I was like, damn,
Wait,
Jay, what the fuck?
what books did you not like from him? Because I didn't pick up Empire of the Vampire because of how fucked up I felt like his views were in Nevernight.
Oh, I
gave
haven't read
Nevernight.
Nevernight.
I read like a part of Nevernight and I despised it. I gave it 1 star. And I read like 40 pages of Illuminae and I was like so grossed out by how dumb it was that I gave it 1 star in DNF. But like with
I
Empire of
loved
the Vampire,
Illuminate.
I don't. It's just not my thing.
I
But,
get
like,
it. I get it.
But like Empire of
Nevernight
the
was in my
Vampire-
top 3 worst books of last year. So I was
Illuminate?
like, no.
Oh,
Nevernight. I've tried to
Oh.
read Illuminate and just like can't really get into it, but I see why other people love it.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, damn, maybe I'll try and pick up. Maybe he's learned, and I'll try to pick up.
Oh, girl, no! Oh my god, Empire of the Vampire is like so fucking good. Like the setting,
so good.
the place where they train this gothic monastery in the sky, and like the action scenes have like teleportation. It's so fucking amazing. It's
The
like
atmosphere too, when
Yes,
he's talking to whatever his name is just on point. But I haven't read Nevernight. Is that the one with the footnotes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
so
do
bad. It's so
footnotes.
bad. Oh.
I don't do it, so I haven't tried that one. But you should give this one a try. It's really good.
Oh Jesus! Here we go again, Gavin. I love that.
Oh,
For you.
so sweet.
Aww.
Ugh, I knew it. I was like, I could not wait. I was like, I can't wait to tell them I gave this 5 stars.
I like it.
I was so scared that I was going to make everybody mad. And for those of you who just came in at the beginning, for those of you who just came in now, please watch from the beginning because
Yeah,
like,
he went off.
But
Popped
people
off.
are, but people are supporting me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, he actually thought that everybody was gonna get on him in the comments.
I know. I was
before
like so
coming on.
scared. I was like messaging our chat, like, you guys, I'm really sorry. I can't. And then like the whole chat was like, spoil McKay this part. Like, let's get into this. Like, spoil this part. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Mhm. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad we all at least got something out of this.
Yes.
This reading experience.
I feel like this is the most hated book you've ever picked, Gabby. Like, I feel like even The Wrong Family didn't get this much like fire to it.
I know. Well, to be fair, The Wrong Family was like the second pick that I ever had, so the book trip just wasn't as poppin' then, like with like the chat and everything. So I'd be curious to see if it was a pick now, if it would get even more, because I don't know. But yeah, this is
No.
the second 1 star of the book trip.
No, like I finished The Wrong Family pretty quick. It wasn't good, but like but I was like, vaguely curious about the whole situation
Yeah.
and making fun of it was fun. With this, it was just like dead in the water, stick a fork in it, just like bye-bye,
Yeah.
Well, I feel like even if you have a pick that, like, this is what I have found so far, like in my book club, is that I'm like, I don't want to pick something that's going to be okay. Like, I either want to hate it and be able to talk, I want to be able to discuss it, or even if it's a 5-star and there's nothing to talk about, I'm like, this is boring. Cool. We all read this book, but if we can't talk about it, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And yes,
Oh my God.
Sophie, get on that. I
Yes.
have all of their links in the descriptions, by the way, if anybody wants to give these lovely humans a follow.
Wait, I'm literally, oh my god, the fact that someone said that what I said was great commentary makes it feel so good.
McKay, you always have the
Yeah.
best. I love watching your videos and I am ready for whatever you have to say. And you're the
Yes.
only person that I comment on all like the videos because I watch videos and sometimes I can't comment because I'm trying to catch up. But you, I'm always like, yes, on point. Like the Dead Inside one.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So much to me. Thank you.
Of course.
Truly, thank you.
Yes. I'm so glad you got to join. Sorry, it was quite the roast. Yes.
You know what
please
this-
give them all a follow.
You know what this was like? This was like
Thank you.
when you are in school and you take a very hard exam and you think like I'm gonna be so depressed walking out of this, but then you walk out of the room and everybody in your class who finished the exam is saying how hard the exam was, and you're all just like collectively like, yes, I failed this class too, high five. That's what reading this book was
It's
like.
bonding.
Yeah.
It's a bond, really.
No, let me this, if you've ever worked any job really, been in the service industry, this moment where a month ago, there's a guy that I work with that I'm always like, I'm like, oh my God, he's so frustrating. Like, he's so annoying. He's this tall, white, entitled man. And I'm like, oh my God. But I was like, I can chat with him. And I found out over the course of like 2 days that every single girl I work with hates his guts. And I was like, yes. I was like,
Bonding
yeah.
moment.
Oh my God, wait, I'm the one that dislikes him the least?
Yeah. Amazing.
So
Justification.
awesome.
All right. Well, I think we will wrap up this live show here. So, thank you so much to everyone for joining us. And if you've read along with us this month, and thank you. Sorry we put you through it, to be honest, but yeah, thank you for being here. And thank you so much to all three of you for joining me. I super appreciate it. I know this is all your second time on the Book Troop, like live shows with me. So I genuinely do appreciate you all so much for being here. And again, if you're not subscribed to any of them, all of the links will be down below to go and check out their channels because they're all amazing humans. So we're going to end this here, but thank you so much